Good evening, dear viewers. Today we are here again for another special edition of the Environment and Climate Dialogue here at UCTV. I'm by the names Dickens Ochero, your host of this show. Today we delve into a critical issue that everyone have been always involved in. Others have been culprits, others have been really a blessing to the community of Uganda. For this critical issue, the topic that we have here that we are going to digest, we are going to explore together, and the topic is the natural resource management in Uganda. And you know, when you talk about natural resource, Uganda has been known as the Pearl of Africa because of its beautiful natural resource. And what are those resources? We have the fertile soil, we have the beautiful freshwater bodies, the expansive forest that has made really as added up this into all this what's called the biodiversity. And that's the reason why we always bring experts from all parts of this country to come and share that knowledge, what they're doing. And today in the studio we have really a special guest who is an environmentalist, he is a nutritionist, and he has been impacting a lot of community with their work, with their innovations. And today, if you're a person who wants to take opportunity, you know, every blessing always comes with responsibility. And you know, as a country, we are blessed with all these natural resources. And the natural resources, others, it's a problem to them, it's a challenge to them, it's a curse to them. But for us, we take it as an opportunity of creating wealth, because we know that we have the wealth here in Uganda. And that's the reason why this week, as the Ministry of Water and Environment are celebrating Uganda Water and Environmental Week for the all of this week, and it started yesterday, 17th to 21st, and today we make like the third day of the celebration, where we have very many activities. We have exhibitions which are taking place. We have panel discussions. So if you know that you are around Kampala, you're near, take an opportunity. Go there, learn. There are opportunities for you to take. I always tell you that be a master of opportunities whenever you know that need be. And today here in the studio, we will have a special edition, a practical example that you're going to learn. Just I ask you, kindly take your pen, take your book, and sit there, don't touch your dial, and listen to an expert that is going to share the knowledge, what he has been doing, because he has moved, he has trained people in universities, in Bishop Stewart University, he has trained people in Western Uganda, and right now he's working with an organization called WWF, that's the World Wild Fund, and they're moving every part of this country. And without wasting time, let me take this time to welcome this gentleman, this expert, to introduce himself before we go into the critical matter. Thank you, my dear guest. You're most welcome. Please introduce yourself to the viewers.
I'm Sande, I'm an agricultural engineer and a nutritionist.
Wow.
And a researcher.
Wow.
So I've been tackling a number of problems which face Ugandans.
Okay.
And among which was soil exhaustion. We are looking at the problem called soil exhaustion.
Soil exhaustion
is a problem every farmer is facing today.
Okay.
And another thing, we have another which people call a problem, which is called water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is this plant.
Yeah, okay.
By the nature of its look,
okay,
it is a high water consumer plant.
Okay.
It has very deep roots. So to fishermen and people who generate energy from the waters, look at it as a problem.
Okay.
But in real sense, by the virtue of the fact that it is a heavy consumer of nutrients, which come along water by erosion, which is washed within our rivers, it captures all the nutrients which come along with the with water erosion, and captures all the nutrients and keeps all those nutrients within itself. So we came up with an innovation of using it as a source of wealth.
Okay, Mr. Justus, before, let me tell the viewers one thing, because there are things, this thing, as other people are seeing it as a miracle, others are wondering why this thing is in front of this plant is in front of us today. Oh, my dear viewers, let me tell you something about Mr. Justus. The reason why we have brought him here. Mr. Justus, with his research and innovation, he has impacted very many communities in Kenya. Kenya, our neighbors here, especially the communities around Lake Victoria, through this plant that you're seeing here, called water Hyacinth. And the reason why we have called him, because of his innovations, his idea. And when we went through his story, we looked at his story, it was so impactful. And he said that now, if we are now discussing about the natural resources, and you know when we talk about natural resource management, refers to the sustainable utilization, protection, conservation of environment for future and for current and future generation. Yes. And that's the reason why today we have brought him here to take us through, because we have seen this as a very big problem, Mr. Justus. Yes. Especially if you go to the areas around Lake Victoria, especially just here in Luzira, Kamwanyi zone, you see that the lake is covered up with this water Hyacinth, and we look at what can we really do with this water Hyacinth? And we are talking about people they should stop banning bush for their own activities. People should stop cutting down trees. We are bringing very many rules and regulations around the communities, but without giving them an alternative. Like how you people have come up with this idea, this innovation, which have impacted really and has made other people in the community reap big in Kenya, especially. And now we are seeing that is this a blessing or a problem in this community?
No, this is a blessing to us.
Yeah,
it is a blessing to us because from it itself, we can generate energy called biogas. You just crush it, it is soft. When you crush it, it becomes easier for microbes to work on it and generate methane gas, which people call biogas. So from biogas, you can get light. From biogas, you can use it to cook. From biogas, you can get bioslurry. Bioslurry, once you press it, there is some waste matter which remains after removing the liquid. The liquid which we press out of bioslurry, we add in some molasses. Some molasses create some form of alcohol content, which helps it to become systemic. Once you apply it on a plant, the plant becomes vigorous. Because of its nature, it has some fibers. These fibers, after passing through the biogas, we press the fibers, add it in charcoal, and then make what we call biochar fertilizer, which takes long and especially which supports coffee and banana.
It supports coffee and banana.
It supports the growth of coffee and bananas.
And these are things which we don't know here in the center.
Yeah, and Mark, this is something which is paying Ugandans, especially the coffee growing. This would be the right source of the organic fertilizer to support coffee growing.
And do the coffee farmers know about this?
I don't know if they know, because Ugandans are poor at consuming information. That's why we are going to Kenya, people who are hungry for knowledge. Yet we are leaving our people here hungry. If it has to be you to pick
knowledge for them.
Yes. Other countries surrounding us speak us and take us and use us. Actually, Uganda is having that problem of brain drain. Outsiders come for brainers in Uganda and take us outside and for use. And we benefit their people. Because our people here, maybe the administrators, do not mind much about innovators and academicians. Yes. Yeah. But this thing, once considered, when you crush it using a mortar, and you soften it, and we put abattoir water in it. Abattoir water is from the water from slaughterhouses. It contains some blood properties. Blood properties contain a lot of proteins. So we use flies, black soldier flies, to decompose it, following the blood content and the protein content found in this legume. Then we generate maggots. I have a sample of those maggots if you wanted to look at them.
Because the viewer wants to see what really how
the maggots look like.
You can just show them.
Like these ones are maggots. These maggots here, once you put them into the broken down of this legume, they multiply. When they multiply, you get the feeds for fish rearing. This maggot itself is a complete food for the fish to grow.
Wow.
People have dug a lot of fish ponds, but they fail to reach market because the fish feeds are very expensive. Okay. Because the component of a fish feed contains a lot of protein. And the source of the protein has always been silver fish, which is nowadays, because of those soldiers on the lake, which is also very scarce. But this would be a vital source and a cheaper source of the protein, and chicken, and piggery. And yet we are using what people call a problem.
A problem.
To solve the problem. This money of PDM among the society we have here in Uganda would be enough capital to make this project flourish. Because 1 million is enough for someone to start a fish farm, which is put on a tarpaulin. We have the hatcheries in Western Uganda, where we hatch all the fish types.
Okay.
And this would be the essential food for it.
And someone told me that 3 only maggots like this is enough for the fish.
For the fish a day. It contains all the essentials of a fish to become healthy and grow very fast. Because in a maggot itself, it has an element which is scarce in other sources of protein, which we call growth hormones. The quick growth hormones are the which makes these concentrates we import very expensive, and yet we can make them from here.
Okay.
Yes.
Because the people want to see. Just show them. Show the people in the camera. The viewers want to see.
They want to see the maggots.
Have a look at it. Yeah.
Now these maggots.
A fish maybe keeper there who has been struggling what he can feed with his fish.
Yes.
This is an opportunity for you to see. Yeah. Yeah.
So these ones are a necessity, and the only source to have them grow healthily is by the use of this rich weed. This rich weed, it has very many essentials. Because if you were to have the fertilizer, you have in form of biochar and in the form of liquid organic, and then you have the maggot, the source of protein for feeding fish, for feeding chicken, for feeding pigs. Then that marks the beginning of wealth. And Mark, these people whom are being chased from the wetlands. Those who are making bricks, who are sand mining, they are doing that. That is because it is the only thing they know.
Because they are ignorant about this knowledge.
Yes, but if they were to be given a chance and get to know how to use this weed, which can also be grown in the buffer zone along the demarcated areas along the rivers. Okay. It can be grown there. And it could be the source of those people to develop. Because if somebody is able to make, for example, if you were to go mud fish farming, an area which you can dig and put there a tarpaulin of 4 by 6, a pit, can rear 10,000 mud fish.
Wow. 10,000 mud fish.
You can rear them in an area of a tarpaulin, upland, Mark, you're not in the valley this time. People have heard of knowing that when you want to go fish farming, you must go in the valley. No. There is a technology. Israel, I've been to Israel.
Wow.
Israel are the leading exporters of fish, and they don't have any lake.
And so you wonder where they get their fish.
You can imagine where they get the fish from. This is the knowledge we should import. We have always sent our students from universities to Israel. But they rarely come with those knowledge.
I was wondering why, like someone is saying that we have like that Kenya now, their fish has gone into GMOs. The one that the fish, you don't look at the fish as natural, it's white.
It's the knowledge, man. When they hear that there is somebody resourceful in any country, and Tanzania here, and the fishable source of brains is Uganda. That's where they come from. And it's a pity that they produce best brainers, and we don't utilize them. But now, if you decide to say, can't we use our people now to solve our problems and alleviate poverty? The only way to alleviate poverty is by the use of science and scientists.
And Mr. You know, like when you talk about science, I've been always in the community, especially we talked about PDM, and government giving people money that they have not prepared themselves,
Yes.
like the knowledge base.
They don't know.
That after receiving this money, what can I do with it? And you people, you're here with practical science skills that you can offer to a rural person who has never even gone to school, using his language, that he can do what you're saying.
Yes,
Speaking of.
very much. Because rearing fish, giving him opportunity to learn how to rear these maggots, these flies, black soldier flies, and giving the technology of getting a mortar and a pestle, crush this grass, and put in some abattoir water, and rear the flies, rearing the flies, using the resource which is inexhaustible, and you look after fish. The market of fish is much more than the market of bricks. Because at least every household needs a fish.
And needs less energy.
Yeah, and not every family needs a brick.
Not every family, you're right.
Every family would at least need a fish. But
Yes.
not every family will want a brick of sand. So which means the product of the pond could have much more market than the sand. Meaning, if he was given an opportunity to understand that science, then he would abandon fish and brick making and join this industry, which pays higher and has a ready market.
And leaving the sector, it means you're protecting the environment.
Yes, yes.
And coming here, you're adding value into the community and even gaining wealth, which you're losing less energy than the other one that you're using a lot of energy that will affect you in the long run.
Improving nutrition of our children. You know, we have that setting, that abuse, I may say, of saying Ugandan children are stunted. They are stunted because they lack essential proteins. And essential proteins would be got naturally here. Because we have the best fresh waters, even in the whole of Africa. These natural fresh waters would be the best water for fish rearing. And we have now the resources to support us get the feeds cheaply. What lacks is communication, and people get informed, and then we spark of wealth. Now, if people would get access to this information,
yes,
and they call us,
okay,
because people already are empowered with 1 million.
1 million, and others are still even waiting for this 1 million to reach that.
Yes, so many are stuck with it because what they knew was brick making. So they were given 1 million, and they were stopped from using the 1 million to making more bricks. So they are stuck with the money. But once they are given this information, and they go into utilizing that 1 million, it would multiply. Because, for example, a capital project of one tarpaulin, a tarpaulin of 6 by 5 costs 50,000.
You see now, 50,000.
And you can just dig a pit around your compound. The pit has to be 12 feet by 8. That's where you can fit that tarpaulin. Then you just get a piece of timber across over and tie it there so that it is a flame holding that tarpaulin. You pour in water, put in your foundation seed,
okay,
of the mud fish, and you feed it on this. 4 months, the 10,000, because each mud fish costs 1,000. If you have the 10,000, that is 10 million. And for a common man to get 10 million, that begins a business.
Then that's really something that really I'm now looking, because with the information that you're really feeding with us today, I'm looking at how Karamoja can be changed into really a wealthy land. With the land which is available there, we have very many dormant land, and what will the government has tried setting up this fish pond that the community has never owned, and you see that within 2 to 3 years, the project has failed.
Yes.
And people complain that,
they are not owning it. It is not theirs. You know, when it comes to development, you don't need to bring a development to someone. You need to build the idea he has.
Okay.
That's why people don't own projects brought by government. They just go there and say, I think these people need beehives. We take them beehives. You bring them there, that's not their vision. You must build someone's vision. And the vision, it comes into someone after information receiving.
That's right.
It is even biblical. How will they know when they were not told? They have to be told. Then when told, develop the vision of acquiring the knowledge they have been told. And the knowledge must come from the knowledgeables. so unless you tend to pull closer to you the knowledgeables, then you will not be knowledgeable. Remember, there is a saying that when you befriend 4 fools, you become the fifth. And you may be a dangerous one, Mark, because every fool will give you a version of his stupidity. And then you will share that also. And you may become a dangerous fool this time among the fools.
And become a problem, a disease in the society.
A disease in the society. So it is about using the wise men to come up with a wise idea. And this has been the field of innovations. Because the problem, sort of the way sort of the standing problems in our society is to use the innovators. Not the money, not to put there the money, put there the knowledge. The knowledge will generate money.
Yeah.
Yes. When people know, they will seek for ways to get money and money to put it to purpose. Yes.
Because you've created already a space for them
to
know that they can now invest in.
Yes. So, but when you just bring money, we are bringing $1 million per household to do what? They will start with the standing problems on the table. The sitting problem was food and school fees for the children to go to school.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that.
Those are adventures which you never pay back. Because when you buy good food because they brought you $1 million, you did not have a new idea. But when you equip people with the knowledge, and you behind the knowledge there is money. When you engage in knowledge giving, these people get knowledge. They will develop hunger for money. When you bring the money, then you are answering the problem of what they had at the back of their mind. Then that's when you bring about development. But to say I'm bringing money, I'm giving them money to do what? They will use it in the standing problem, and the immediate problem is hunger. They will buy food.
You're right.
Then the following problem after hunger is school fees.
School fees.
And they will send it to that. Yeah. And the thing will lose meaning. But if you were to follow academicians and researchers and say, please, this is the problem we have. Like us who are in the area, we are doing it professionally. We know what it contains chemically. We know how to process it. If it was not to be in the studio and you reach at our processing unit, you would get amazed how young boys who have not gone to school even are doing things miraculously. And then you would see how the world can be transformed.
Without running and crying loud at
nothing. No, nothing.
I've seen that a person down in the rural area can reap big from this. Because what I saw, like your work, I saw how you can get like fertilizers that you talk about from this plant. I've seen you also making energy, like gas out of this.
For cooking. And Mark, this thing is very rich in gas. When you put it in a generator, in a biodigester, remember the bacteria will be working on it 24 hours. So the gas is constant. If you were to cook, you cook the whole day.
What?
No stove. If it was to heat a room for chicken, for example, if you want to go chick brooding, then you get your chicken, you put them in a room, then you heat it. When you heat it, the heat remains there. And remember, the heat from it is non-luminous. It doesn't give smoke.
What?
It is just a blue flame.
Mr. Justus, can you explain to one, how can, because someone is wondering that, how can Mr. Justus say that we can get really energy from
the energy, maybe if I can talk a bit of science for those people who are watching and know something about science. This thing has fiber and has material in it. It is soft and can easily be digested by microbes. When we are making biogas, we entirely depend on anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria is a type of bacteria that works out of oxygen.
Out of oxygen?
Yeah, when it is put inside the tank or the tubular substance, it begins working on organic matter. In the course of working on organic matter, it produces a gas called methane gas, which we dry. We dry the methane gas, then it comes out as a combustible gas. When it is burning, when it is in contact with oxygen, it forms a blue flame and hot. And when you put it over on a cooker then it becomes like a gas, like any other gas you have seen people using petroleum gas. It resembles that one.
That one.
Yeah, and if you want to make light, then you pass it through the mantle of the pressure lamps.
The pressure lamp.
Then it gives light, much more light than a bulb.
What?
Yes, so that it can even light the whole room. So if you want to go into a project of chick brooding, you can buy chicks from these incubators, then you put them in a room. When you are feeding them on this maggot, the chicks grow very fast. And that becomes a project itself for the youth. You just brood chicks for 1 month, which you bought at 3,000.
3,000.
You sell them at 10,000. And that you just give them out.
Someone doesn't need even to be looking for a job when there is already
No,
a job.
there could be no need. What matters is the knowledge.
It means that people who are in Kamwani Port Belt are sitting on a gold mine.
They just seated on a gold, they don't know. They don't know. But if they were to harvest it, use it in making biogas and generate gas for brooding chicken, feed the chicken on the maggots, you just fetch money. You just fetch money. At least everybody needs a chicken.
Everyone.
So one would not go for sand mining when there is a simple project there. And you just need 12 plastic tanks, like 4 of them. Then they generate enough gas for you.
All right, Mr. Justus. Let's go for a short commercial break here. The conversation is getting interesting, and I know and I believe that my viewers are enjoying this knowledge, and someone down there is noting everything that Mr. Justus is sharing. And even I know that at the end of the discussion, we'll share his number if you need him, and also we are going to put the government in touch. We need people like Mr. Justus, at least to come in our community, so that we see that at least the behavioral management is changed and is being streamlined in a wealthy manner, not in a poverty way. And I know that we will do this together. All right, my dear viewers, let's go for a short commercial break and we shall be back. Thank you.
UCTV, good news for all.
Tiene que soñar.
Hello and welcome to UCTV. Welcome to Connect with Mary.
You're the Alpha and the Omega.
The Catholic television. I'm Sande Gloria of Watch with UCTV News.
We need people to pay for content.
Bernardo Silva, Matheus Nunes, and Haaland!
Swings it across to Christie.
UCTV, good news for all.
I am Father Sande Augustine Masbreka, bring you inspiration quotes on this UCTV, and don't miss good news for all. Thank you.
Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank, agribusiness solar loan of up to 50 million shillings for a solar-powered irrigation system on your farm. Enjoy a grace period tailored to your cash flows and loan offer amounts from 100,000 up to 50 million Uganda shillings with flexible loan periods up to 60 months. Apply for a Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan through our branches, agents, and enjoy a fixed interest rate of just 1.7% per month. Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan today and watch your farming dreams come to life. Visit any of our nearest branch today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
Support the Uganda Catholic television with MTN Momo. Step 1. Dial *165*3#. Step 2, enter merchant code 180572. Step 3, enter any amount from 500 Uganda shillings. Step 4, pay using MTN mobile money. Step 5, enter PIN code and send. Step 6, you will receive a confirmation text for supporting the Uganda Catholic Television.
Ronaldo down in the area, penalty!
Don't miss the sports link on UCTV. Catch us every Monday to Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. as we take you into the thrilling world of sports in football.
Messi! Thuram! Mbappe!
Saka shoot, deflects in, Arsenal have the lead!
Netball,
Nasanga taking the shot, and look at that exceptional steal.
motorsports, boxing, swimming, and much more. UCTV Sports Link with Samgenza Mustafa. Only on UCTV. Good news for all.
UCTV. Good news for all.
All right, my dear viewers, welcome back from that short commercial break. We are still here with you. We are not going anywhere because we want you to know what is happening in the Pearl of Africa. That is full of beauty, full of opportunity, blessings, which is an opportunity to most people who are the masters of opportunities. And we know that with us, the environmental dialogue team here, we can never let you go wrong, but you just need to stay at your set, don't touch your dial, to listen to these informations that we are sharing with you. You know, I was still telling you how you can create wealth with the water hyphen, with the maggots that you're seeing. Some of you, you're spending a lot of money on, you know, feeding the chicken, feeding you have poultry business, and you're using a lot of money in like keeping all this, when you know that there is a way how you can cut the cost. And with environmental dialogue, you can never go wrong. It's just it's just a bucket of information, of knowledge that you need just to stay tuned, alert, and listen to every information. So we have discussed about the biomass energy, how you can generate biomass, how you can generate like affordable and clean energy through this initiative that you're seeing, the natural source that you're seeing. How can you even get fertilizers for your garden, if maybe someone who wants to go into also fertilizers business, because we have seen very many people who have already used fertilizers. They have taken it into a commercial way, which is good, which we are happy about that. And also there's another thing which is surprising. Remember of the article that one time I wrote here, then I told you that waste is not wasted, and waste is not wasted until it's wasted. You understood that very well. And some people were asking, Dickens, what do you mean by that? Now today, as I told you, that Mr. Justus here is just, I don't know what I can call him. I've never seen certain things that you can turn waste into wine. That other people have been taking this wine, other people, they don't know where this wine comes from. But you can go into a winery business. And we are here with a person who is going to take us through how can someone come up, make wine from the natural source, because every time we think that we need to buy mangoes, we need to buy oranges, we need to get this and this to mix this, or chemicals, so that we come up with it. So Mr. Justus, because I know there is someone who is thinking about like what kind of business, how can I venture into this with this natural resource that he has been having, he has been even wasting them, not knowing that he can reap big from this natural resource. So as we are going into this discussion, we have been going through this. So apart from other things that someone can get from water Hyacinth, from all this resource that is surrounding us, what other benefit can someone get from these resources again that we have?
This thing can be a source of drinks. This thing to become a drink, After cutting it and crushing it using a mortar and a pestle, which every home at least can afford.
Yeah, even in the rural areas.
Even in the rural areas, they can afford that. When you crush it and dry it, you can even use open drying if you can't afford the dryer. You can use open drying. You dry it. When you dry it properly and it is free from water component, and you crush it a little bit, then you soak it in water. That water containing some lime. It can be building lime.
Yeah.
When you put it in building lime and you remove it, then we get what we call mushroom spawn.
Mushroom spawn.
Mushroom spawn, we make it from our labs.
Wow.
Yes. If you don't have the source of the
mushroom. And before that, it's a seed like you get like any other...
No. There is a scientific way of extracting spawn. We call it spawn, which people, ordinary men, would call a seed. Any form of mushroom, we can get its seed from itself.
What?
And we have the know-how which we can also impart some other people interested. And this does not require you to have degrees, diplomas. No, it's a matter of knowing just the procedure. You don't need to have learned a lot for you to begin making a seed for the mushroom or spawn scientifically, how we term it. Then you add it into that, we call it a substrate, a mushroom growing substrate. Then it grows mushrooms. When mushrooms grow, that itself becomes the center of the cause of having money.
Really, that's one business.
That's one business is starting there. Some people want to buy the colonized gardens. That is a market itself. There is a market for the fresh mushrooms. That one is a market there. But if you want to go value addition,
okay, that's
where your wine comes in. So the mushrooms are a fungal class type of plants. Then being a fungal, it has what we call mycelium and starch. Okay. So from starch, we concentrate the starch using molasses. So we ferment that. We add in some molasses. Then it ferments. Then we sieve. Then we put the stabilizers and make a wine, which we call mushroom wine. So we put their stabilizers, then it becomes a mushroom wine. That becomes an industry of its own and a business of its own. Someone can flourish using that wine because it is nutritious, it does not create hangover, because it has a lot of protein base. So it's not dry, it's not a dry wine or a dry gin, it's actually food. So when one takes it, actually gets well stabilized in the mind, it is a treatment for the heart attack, it is a drink, a managed drink, and then actually it is something very precious.
And they told me that it has 14% of alcohol.
Yeah, but the alcoholism is brought up by the molasses we put in. We add in to work on the starch found in the mushroom.
So it's the molasses that creates the alcohol percentage.
That is what it is. So but it bases on the starch found in the mushroom. And the starch was is healthy because of the protein, of the carbohydrate content found in the mushroom.
And apart from that, because someone they want to know that, do I need like a plot of land to start up a mushroom business?
No. Just a simple room. A simple room of 10 by 10 is enough for someone to start a very big exporting project. A room of 10 by 10. It can be even hired, especially for the youth who do not have land where to build. And the best house mark you would be the grass thatched house for that business. Not the iron sheet thatched house. If one was to have a grass thatched house and of mud and water, that would be the best house for this project of mushrooms.
And because now someone is there asking now that since I've already started this mushroom business and I have maybe the size of the house that I have, how much can I rebuild from this mushroom business? And is it sustainable?
Yes, actually at least everybody, very many people are diabetic these days and are stopped from eating red meat.
Yeah.
People have high blood pressure, people have diabetes, and the only advice they are given is eating mushroom. It is the best source for them. And the who are diabetic are the who have the money, mark you. So which means that is the resource to tap. And at least the mushroom cuts across all religions, cuts across all the cultures.
The cultures.
So nobody will say not to buy mushrooms because I'm of this religion. No, everybody will need to eat. Because it plays two roles. It is in the sector of mushroom, of meat, and in the sector of vegetables. It's a vegetable meat trying to play around the two circles. It's a universal. Yeah. Yes. So that's an opportunity to tap. And mark you, this million given to these people is enough actually to make someone start that and run stably.
And not only that, it's a value, and it's also a medicinal.
It's also medicinal. It is also medicinal. Yes. So all these medicine you see on the market with the word saline, penicillin, ampicillin, amoxicillin, name of them. Miscellaneous means mushroom.
So these people get our resources. wow. So these people get our resources, yes, and they go and turn it in their way. Then they come and
we are selling you medicine.
300. When it's your own resource,
it is our own resource, mark you.
And they sell for you expensively.
10 times the value of what you sold.
Because of your ignorance.
Yes, just because you don't know. But if there were to be people who are interested in growing mushroom on large scale, then we could get other people who are interested in adding value to the mushroom and produce products in the form of medicine. And the market is inexhaustible.
Wow.
And when it comes to making mushroom soup, making mushroom, there is a mushroom soap, mushroom Vaseline, mushroom, a number of products one can be introduced to.
And I was wondering, because you go to these big hotels, these 3 stars, 5 stars hotel, and they're selling for you a mushroom soup expensively.
And this is nothing. This is just a mushroom grinded. And they put their spices, like the onions, the garlic. Then they put the powder of the mushroom. This is what they put in what? And they sell you expensively. We are selling you mushroom soup. And you think you are taking something very strange. This is a common thing. This is a common thing. One could easily take and again flourish.
This is the knowledge that people don't know. That
sure.
They are rich, but except that's why someone say that. Your
head is the one who poor. You simply befriended your peer groups. You are all the same level of thinking. So you can't grow when your peer groups are your level of thinking. Then you can't grow. You remain like that. I come from Western Uganda, where they have a saying that a kid that does not visit other families believes that the mother is the best cook.
That's
the best cook. Yes. The mother is the best cook.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because he has never tested other people's food. So if you have not adventured to the world of the knowledgeables, then you don't know that people are using brains to solve problems.
So, Mr. Justus, with all these innovations, with all these ways that you have been impacting the community, so what are the challenges that really you find in this, driving this initiative?
No, the challenge we have is that urge of thinking. We were blessed with the knowledge. But we are giving the knowledge to people who are not ours. People come for us here, take us to different countries. We have been to South Africa, we have been to Rwanda, we have been to Kenya, we have been to Tanzania. But Ugandans never use us who gave us the benchmark of our training.
Who are seated on this resource?
They are seated on the resource, but the authorities have not contacted us. The government is not using the institutions to come up with the brains, the innovators, to bring them to society, to help them
to help the
society get the knowledge. Then the society is given the money to find and help them develop what they have. Our education we have in Uganda, I have not had my education from here alone. I've had education from here and different countries. Here, the form of education we were given, we know much about what we don't have. People have a lot of knowledge about what they don't have.
And cramming things that we don't from other countries that we have not even
people are studying prairies, people are studying in North America, and unfortunately what they are studying there is no longer there.
When we have water Hyacinth,
nobody's studying about water Hyacinth and how to solve the maggots. Nobody. So we know much about what we don't have, and we know little about what we have.
Is it a problem with our government or is it a problem with that?
I don't know. It is a benchmark of education, a background of our education, because we were trained to become a market of their products.
And someone told me that the old curriculum taught us to be result seekers, rather than being people who are practical, who can, what you bring. That's why you see parents, when they are looking for schools, they look for schools who are competing for results based on results, but not that what does that school
produce
for market.
This one has passed with A's, but does he qualify to produce something, solve the problem at home? No, he doesn't. He has an A in things he doesn't have.
Someone goes, he's so proud that the daughter or the son is doing sciences, when he cannot even innovate anything.
He cannot even make a soap to wash at home.
And we are proud that we are
we have a scientist.
Wow. So really, why am I bringing all this? Is it a problem that like the government has really also left behind like local innovators like you, bringing them on board, especially because now with this such a platform that you are the people to be like the channel of knowledge to the local community. Because with this initiative, always with these innovations, there is no one in the community can say that I cannot do that.
This is what we have at home. You know, our research is based on what the community lacks and what it needs. And how do we come up with the way of easing the life getting hardened now with these toughening laws of don't cut the tree, but cook. So don't have the firewood, don't have the charcoal, but cook and eat. Such a challenge. Don't cut the tree to get the firewood. Don't cut the tree and make charcoal. But you must eat.
Where is the alternative?
What is the alternative?
People have been asking, we did a field and you're trying to address this problem, and you say, the government is saying that, and they look at you and they say that, okay, you're telling us that. What's the alternative?
What is the alternative
and
to that?
And you see other people are bringing for you that government is going, because like there was just that project which I think KCC was trying to sell out of giving, I think, free gas cylinders to the communities, the slum areas. I mean, even they did the registration. I've waited for that gas cylinder up to today. I've not yet seen. And now you're bringing a gas cylinder.
It requires money to refill.
It requires money like 50,000, which is monthly for a person to refill it.
Yes.
Don't you see that this is again another big problem?
Yes.
The person.
The question will be, where will I get that money?
First of all, someone cannot say that I have my car 50,000 for buying food. And again, I need to look for 50,000 to refill the gas. That's how much altogether. Then someone is saying that there is a tree, or there is firewood there. Why can't I get this, that I know that I'm not spending a lot of money
to have it?
I have it.
I have it in my house.
Rather,
because at least in villages, we have not had a case of people going to the forest and paying money to go and fetch firewood. At least our tradition allows us to go wherever you find a firewood. You bring it home. That's what our tradition tells us.
You're very right.
So we are not used to buying firewood in villages. When you say we must buy gas now, when you are not providing an increased source of income, then you are bringing a problem. You are increasing thieves.
Yeah, that's why in Pambi, because when we met the community in Pambi, in Mpiji, they told us that yes, you people deploy the soldiers in the daytime, but for us we go at night and cut the street. Because what should
the soldiers will not be there at night.
They tell us what can we do with that. We need to really live a life that we know that we can manage at least to handle other community problems, that our children need to go to school.
Yes.
At the end of the day, they need to eat something at least, and we cannot sit down because the government is saying A, B, C, D. And we cannot do that. And that's why we need to provide at least an alternative as we community. Because the government has not given us the alternative. What to do next? After you've told us, stop cutting trees. What is the alternative that we know that we can at least now survive on? And now with that, Mr. Augustine, we have looked at the policies measure as innovators. Is there like any other policy that you portraying, like maybe that you table before the government, or maybe to come up with a position paper to share it with the decision makers, at least to make it that at least they come up with a bill or a law that protects your work, and also at least try to see that there is that strong bond between the innovators, the local innovators, and the government?
But where do you pass? Where do you pass and where do you get them? First of all, it is not what they are looking for.
They are looking for what?
You could be having something good, but that's not what the questioner is looking for. So you must answer a question as how it is asked.
Okay.
If you are not asked to do what they can see you do to the community, when he comes, the only question he has, will you vote me back at Parliament? He has not asked you, he finds you doing it. But that is not what he's asking you to integrate to the other society. What he's asking you is the vote for the next term. Now, how would you intervene now? Whichever you speak in relation to this, the utilization of this to help the community, you will be relevant. You are answering a question which they have not asked. It may be right.
And some of them, I think, when you teach this with the community you're moving, they think like you're a political threat to them.
Yes. They think you are a political threat, and when they read your mind and say, this person was presenting this thing he has, next time he may challenge me. Because the community may benefit from him than I'm offering. So I should not give him a platform to speak. So you are suppressed there. You are suppressed there. Because what the public, the administrator needs, the policy formulators, what they want is not what we have. And what we have is not what they are looking for.
It's interesting. Wow, this is interesting. Oh, you have heard from Mr. Justus. This is very interesting. I think maybe I need to bring back Mr. Justus another time to this studio. Really, because it's just because of time that really we cannot spend a lot of time to digest all other things. Really, let me tell you that I've learned a lot from Mr. Justus. All right, then I just need Mr. Justus to give us his last remark or the message that he can send to you, dear viewers, and also maybe if he has like his social media handles, he has a YouTube channel, or where you can get him. If anyone who want to contact him, maybe in any other things that you can engage with, because really he's a Ugandan, he's an African, he's a person who has the heart to see that the young people grow, the community grow, they're impacted with various skills that at the end of the day, they can afford at least $1 a day. So, Mr. Justus, give your last tip.
Please, my last word would be an advice that the problems we have will be only solved by us. Ugandan problems will be solved by Ugandans, and African problems have to be solved by Africans. And to be the solvers of the problems, we have to be scientific. The science is the only way to go to solve the problems of Uganda. And the scientists, we are there. And in most cases, we are hinged to universities. And these universities usually end up passing out students who at times do not do what they studied in the university. So, but when you follow us, for example, if you have picked interest in me and you want to go to deal with me, you have a group, you have a school, you have an organization which you want to incorporate me as your trainer to start. You know, the people got a wrong education when they were told that business is started by capital. Capital is the money to start business. You know, that's very wrong. Business is never started by money. Business is started by an idea.
Okay.
And God will never bless you with something you have never thought of. And you will never think of having something you have never been told.
That's why he asked Moses, what do you have?
What did you have? So for you to develop and do miracles, you must first understand what you have. So when you understand what you have and how you can put it to use, that would be the best starting point for everybody's development. Wow. I'm called Justus, and these are my numbers: 0776 615831. That is MTN, Airtel. 0706 615831. My bases are in Western Uganda, Bushenyi District. And at Rwentu Hachitwe is where we have our research demonstration site. Okay. And most of those things, we are attached to Ruizi and Victoria Basin. Okay. So where we get to use the resources found within that basin of Ruizi, Victoria Basin. Okay. Yes.
Do you have any social media handle like you use, like maybe YouTube channel you post?
That one is with the organizations we work with.
Because I've seen, I followed your story. I saw your story from the WWF and the ministry's website. What you're doing, really.
Yeah, those are the who covers.
Okay. That. So don't you feel like you need also now to do the TikToks, the other Facebook, so that, because I know that there are young people always.
Yeah, I understand that, but my area, you know, we are men of the analog type. We are the analog. So you people will help us to go that digital marketing. Right. And for us researchers, we usually think much about what we are looking at. Okay. So our era is that one of the past.
Of the past.
Yeah, so for you, the digital people, you can always help us come up with that. But as of now, those are the numbers we are using. If you want other online systems, then you follow the organization that supports us, the WWF, and the Ministry of Water.
All right, then. Okay. Thank you, my dear viewers, for that time that you've spent with us. You have seen, you have heard, you have really learned a lot, and I know that always every Wednesday from 8 to 9, don't miss the environment and climate dialogue here at UCTV. We are here to offer you knowledge. We are here to bring you different people from all the arenas of life to share with you, to know that that together we can make a difference for this country. And with that, always make sure that you follow our page. If you missed the discussion live on our UCTV, you can go to our YouTube page, watch the video, share, comment, like. Let this information please flow. The way we are sharing with you this information is also the way that you can share with this information to different groups, to different social media pages that if you have, you can share with it so that at least people can consume this message, this information. Thank you very much. I remain Dickens Ochero. See you next week. Bye-bye.
UCTV. Good news for all.